Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Look, today we're tackling something that is honestly incredibly rewarding, but it absolutely demands our respect. Hiking the magnificent Concha mountain in Marbella with children. Let me be real with you right up front. Tackling this peak with minors, it is serious business. It's a stunning experience, but the difference between a beautiful family memory and a stressful nightmare comes down entirely to preparation. So today, we're stripping away all the guesswork. We are breaking down the non-negotiable safety playbook, totally based on expert local guidance. If you're bringing your kids to this mountain, this is the briefing you need. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our trail map for today. First, child safety rules. Second, mastering the Salto de Lobo. Third, the safe northern variant. And finally, when to turn back. All right, part one, child safety rules. Setting the baseline. So the magic number here, 12. That's the strict minimum recommended age for bringing a kid up La Concha. Now you might be wondering, why 12? Well, it's because a family hike up this mountain isn't just a quick walk in the park. It's going to take you about 6 to 7 hours with kids, which is, roughly 2 hours longer than it takes adults. This age requirement isn't just some arbitrary rule to ruin your weekend plans. 12 is generally the age where kids develop the necessary motor coordination, the sustained physical resistance, and, absolutely crucial, the mental concentration required to navigate uneven, rocky terrain for hours on end without losing focus. Now, what's really interesting about this is age actually means nothing if the kid hasn't spent time on the trail. We've got ready kids versus unprepared kids. A ready kid isn't just sporty. They have specific mountain endurance. They've literally done 4 to 5 hour hikes before without totally crashing. They know how to hydrate themselves, and they step firmly on loose rocks. On the flip side, unprepared kids might be perfectly healthy 12-year-olds, but if they get anxious at heights, tend to run ahead impulsively without looking, or, complain on basic 2-hour walks, they absolutely should not be on the Concha yet. A real game-changer pro tip from the locals. Test them out on the nearby Cruz de Juanar Trail first. If they crush that, they might be ready. Moving right along to Section 2, mastering the Salto de Lobo, or the Wolf's Jump, the tactical exception. Now that name sounds pretty intimidating, right? But I want to reassure you right away with this core philosophy from our source material. The Salto de Lobo is technical, yes, but it's a step of coordination, not of exposure. So what does that actually mean? It means while you definitely need to use your hands and feet carefully on the rocks, there is no massive, terrifying drop-off directly beside you. Because that risk of a huge fall just isn't there, this section is completely accessible for children, as long as it's managed correctly by the adults. To get this right, we first need to look at standard hiking protocols. On normal, non-technical terrain, the absolute golden rule for family hiking is super simple. The most experienced adult stays in the back. This lets you monitor the whole group's pace, keep everyone in your line of sight, and, physically catch anyone who might slip on an incline. But here is the critical pivot. When you actually get to the Salto de Lobo, you must invert that rule. This is your tactical exception. In narrow, technical sections where you literally have to scramble, the experienced adult has to lead from the front. You have to open the path. You cannot let a child just guess where to put their feet. Let's walk through exactly how you pull this off step by step. First, you, the adult, get in front. You're testing the stability of the rock before every single step, and you're showing the child exactly where to place their hands and feet. Second, if you've got 2 adults, make a kid sandwich, right? 1 adult in front, the kid in the middle, and the second adult right behind them. Third, pass 1 by 1. No way should you have multiple kids scrambling on the exact same technical section at the exact same time. And fourth, maintain constant verbal contact. Say things like, okay, left foot here, grab this rock. You've got to do this methodically, calmly, and without rushing. If people are piling up behind you, just let them pass first. Take your time. All right, on to Section 3, the safe northern variant, the hard pivot. So once you have safely navigated the Salto de Lobo, you're going to face the biggest safety decision of the entire route. We're talking about the famous Paso de las Cadenas, or the chain step. I literally cannot overstate this. It's an aerial step along a rocky crest with a severe drop-off of several meters, and you have to hold on to chains bolted into the rock. For an experienced adult, sure, it's a thrill. For a child, it is an unnecessary, unacceptable risk. You must avoid this section with minors, period. It's an absolute no-go. And this brilliantly illustrates why you shouldn't even second-guess skipping it. When you compare the traditional route over the chains with the northern variant that bypasses it, the distance, exactly the same. The slope and difficulty, the same. Do you still reach the exact same summit?
Yes, absolutely. The only difference is that aerial drop. The traditional route has a dangerous void, the northern variant has none. So you lose absolutely nothing in terms of the hike's achievement, but you gain 100% total safety.
Just to summarize why this detour is an absolute game changer, the northern variant simply skirts around the exposed crest by taking a path along the northern slope. It eliminates the void drop entirely. It completely avoids the chains. This makes it the definitive, risk-free solution, not just for families with kids, but really for anyone in your group who might suffer from vertigo or anxiety with heights. It's hands down the smartest choice you can make on the mountain.
Which brings us to our final section, Part 4, When to Turn Back, the egress. So the crucial point here is setting a physical boundary for evaluation. The trail features a landmark called the Cruz del Circo de Junar. It's this flat crossing with a bit of shade, roughly an hour and a half into the hike from the parking lot. This right here is your point of no return. You literally have to stop and look at your kid at this exact spot. The climb from this point up to the summit is the most physically demanding part of the whole route. If your kid is already visibly exhausted here at the 1.5-hour mark, you must turn back immediately. But kids aren't always going to just tell you they're exhausted. You've got to play detective and look for the red flags. Have they totally stopped talking and just put their head down to endure the walk? Are they tripping or losing coordination on completely flat, easy ground? Are they complaining of nausea or, worse, have they stopped sweating? That is a massive red flag for severe dehydration. If they're crying or clearly unmotivated, stop. Give them water, give them something sweet, and rest for 20 minutes. If they don't bounce back, you're done for the day. You have to remember, the vast majority of mountain accidents happen on the descent, when a tired kid who has pushed way too far up the mountain simply loses the leg strength to get safely back down. Which leaves us with this final, incredibly important thought to keep front and center in your mind. The mountain isn't going anywhere. It will still be there tomorrow, next month, and next year. Is forcing an exhausted child to the summit just to check a box really worth the risk of an accident on the way down? Absolutely not. Follow this playbook, use that northern variant, watch for the signs of fatigue, and make safety your one and only priority. That's how you ensure your family has an unforgettable and completely safe adventure. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and stay safe out there on the trails.